Hari Om, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. Sandeep ji, Shalin bhai, please take care of admitting anybody who's joining.
Yeah, we'll do.
Ji, we are doing that.
Let me start the invocation. Sorry for running late. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Good morning, Hari Om to everybody. I welcome you all today, and just wanted, as we have shared in the group messages, today is the fourth class of our Bhagavad Gita study, and our Puja Swamiji had a pre-scheduled travel commitment, and he's actually transiting. He's in between two destinations. As we had mentioned earlier as well, that our Swamiji is quite a sought after speaker, if I can say so very modestly. So Swamiji has commitments which, you know, are quite long drawn and quite committed over some time. But nevertheless, we have requested Swamiji, and Swamiji has been kind enough that moving on all Saturdays, wherever he would be physically located, we have made those provisions. But this was one particular week when the schedule could not be changed because of external factors and external reasons. So what we decided today is that today is the fourth session of our study of Bhagavad Gita. We have elaborately done introduction along with Swamiji in two classes, and then Swamiji started Bhagavad Gita from the first verse, and we had done the first two verses. In order to maintain the continuity and also in order to kind of refresh ourselves, what we have decided is we are playing a short video today. We will not be having Swamiji's class as regular class. We will be playing a short video of Puja Gurudev in English, which is considered as one of the greatest modern commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So we would be playing a short video, which is about 30 minutes and covers the introduction of Bhagavad Gita and the verses which we had covered in our previous class. The idea is to refresh. The idea is to just remind ourselves once more. The idea is to study it once again. And next week onwards, regular service resumes, and we would request all of you to be back in the same numbers. So that's all for the moment. After the class is over, we may make a couple of announcements. So we request everybody, once the video is over, just to wait for a minute in case there are any announcements. So please enjoy this session straight in the words and the voice of the great master himself. Thank you so much, everybody. Hari Om.
just before the Gita starts. The born blind old man, the king, who is blind in his attachment to his own children, however wicked and vicious they may be, that blind old king, sitting in the cool comforts of his main hall, let us say, sitting room in the palace in Delhi, and the great civil war is broken in the Kurukshetra, a place it's about more than 300 miles away. But the old man had a consciousness in him that his sons are championing a false right or false path, following a criminal path. That sense of guilt is in him, but he cannot accept it. Why? They are my children. It is very unjust that his own nephews, his own brother's sons, had to be totally alienated from the kingdom. But then he knows it at the same time because of his attachment. Whenever there is attachment, you become blind intellectually. Your discriminative power, judging power goes away. It is at that time that Vyasa, the author of the Bhagavad Mahabharata, comes to the king and says, "Sir, you are a born blind man, but such a vision you will never be able to experience in life because you cannot organize a civil war for you to see. Therefore, I can with my tapas, with my penance and power, spiritual power, give you temporarily the power to see, and you can observe and watch the entire war going on." The old man thought for a moment and said, "Thank you, I don't want to see." Why? He knew that in the long run, the vicious and the wicked will come to suffer, and maybe my children will die away, and I don't want to see it. He had not the guts to see the consequences of his own wrong acts. So he said, Vyasa said, that in that case, would you like to hear a running commentary of what is all happening there? If I can't go to a tennis match or a cricket match, and then I would like to hear the running commentary in the radio. I can imagine what is all happening there. In the same way, do you like to hear a running commentary? The old man thought for a moment. That I would love to, because I will get the latest information of what is all happening there. It is then Vyasa who gave Sanjaya, the secretary of the king, this power to sit in the palace, and he sees what is happening in the war front. It is not television. Television only points out to you the forms. But we don't know what is all going on through the mind of the people in the television. Here is a guy who can see not only what is happening there, but he sees it through the mind of these individuals in the war, and therefore he can feel their emotions and their various sentiments and emotions passing through their mind. Thus imagine the king sitting in his throne with some, let us say, Kashmir, grapes, now and then eating one by one. In the cool comfort of the palace. And the secretary standing there with folded arm, with great reverence and respect, recognizing and seeing and giving a running commentary. Now remember, in the running commentary also, he has to exhaustively explain because he's a blind man. You can't say to a blind man that it is something like a moonrise, so beautiful as a sunrise or a moonrise. You can't say because he has never seen it. It has to be very, very elaborate, carefully voiced, because the blind man must get a picture of what is happening. Thus the Bhagavad Gita starts in the palace sitting room, let us say, royal room, and the old man calls Sanjaya when Vyasa has gone. Hey Sanjaya, tell me what is all happening there in the war front. Thus he asks the question. And Sanjaya starts switching on to that vision and explaining as best as he can whatever that is happening there. Not only that he is seeing what is all happening, he is hearing what is all being said there. Nay, he is also sensitively feeling the various emotions that the individual is going through. Fear, dread, sense of guilt, 1,000 emotions through which every one of us psychologically go through. All these he recognizes and tries to communicate and convey to the old man so that he, even though blind, gets a good picture. As I yesterday said, all these individuals and the main personalities in both the armies, the Kaurava and the Pandava forces, all of them are living, pulsating, exciting personalities to a student who has read through the Mahabharata. They are all living, vital entity, not dead cut pieces or mere individual shadows, but they are all living ones, because these Mahabharata explains their exploits, their character, their behavior, their achievements. All these are given so thickly painted all through the earlier portion of the Mahabharata that by the time it comes to the Gita, mere enumeration of the names are sufficient to bring into the mind of the old man the mighty people who are in the Kaurava forces and the great warriors in the Pandava forces. Now first chapter starts. Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya
So the Dhritarashtra is the name of the old king, the blind king. He is sitting on his throne, is questioning or asking his secretary, his PA, personal assistant, and he is asking, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, in the place of Kurukshetra, where they have assembled to do their dharma, their responsibility to the society. As Kshatriyas, warriors, they have to fight. That place, Samaveta Yuyutsavaha, Samaveta assembled. Yuyutsava, desiring to fight the battle. So those who have arrayed there and assembled there to fight, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, my people and the Pandavas. See that? It's attachment. He is not saying that first the Pandavas and the Mandava. My people, my children and their army and the Pandavas. Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. Hey Sanjaya, tell me, what are they doing now? What are their efforts? What are they now doing? What is happening there? Switch on to the channel of Kurukshetra. Let me see. I mean, you see and explain to me. Come on, Sanjay Vaja.
सञ्जय उवाच
सञ्जय उवाच
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम्
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम्
व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा
व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा
आचार्यमुपसंगम्य
आचार्यमुपसंगम्य
राजा वचनमब्रवीत्
राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Now then, Duryodhana was the eldest of Dhritarashtra's son, the Kaurava, the eldest brother of the Kauravas, who is pure, what am I to say? Sadat, uncompromisingly vicious. All that he can know only and think only is how to get the kingdom. I want to rule. I must be in the chair. I will not yield an inch to them. His covetousness for it, his desire to possess the power, the wealth, the pelf, which has upset him so completely. And yet, in the mind, there is shuddering fear. All of us will have. We very often become immoral. Not that we don't know it. We know that it is wrong. And yet we are tempted to do because of a desire, the urgency of a desire fulfillment. And all the time you know, it's going to give me trouble, but never mind. Immediately let me enjoy it, and later on the trouble comes, I will face it. It is a natural thing in the human mind. So here you have that psychological behavior, which is common universally, is being beautifully brought out with the very first words of Sanjaya. Sanjaya says, Drishtva Pandavanikam. Having seen the array of the Pandavas, the Pandava forces, Vyudam Duryodhanastada Duryodhana, then seeing the army that is arrayed against him, the Pandava forces, Acharya Upasangamya, he went to the Acharya, the Lord, the Master, the teacher, who is Drona. Dronacharya taught both the Kauravas and the Pandavas the archery. And to that, Drona, he approached Raja Vachanam Abravit. This Raja, the prince, Duryodhana, Vachanam Abravit, said these words. Now, in fact, it has been pointed out in the text that 11 Ch-1s, call it battalion or whatever the technical term in the army, 11 Ch-1s is the Kaurava forces, and the other is only 8 Ch-1s, meaning their number is less. The most mightiest of warriors, who are very well known for their prowess and their courage, are all arrayed with the ruling party, because Duryodhana is the ruling power. They got all of their support. Pandavas have very few, because he is opposition party. So he is less army, less great mighty men in the army, and really speaking they are insignificant. And yet Duryodhana feels a shuddering fear in his mind, because psychologically he knows that what I am searching for and fighting for is a wrong aim, war aim, and therefore he cannot succeed. He has not got that confidence. So he, seeing the arrayed array of the Pandava forces, he runs to the Acharya, his own guru, and he says,
पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणां
पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम्
आचार्यमहतीं च मूम्
आचार्यमहतीं च मूम्
व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण
व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण
तव शिष्येण धीमता
तव शिष्येण धीमता.
Whereas you are overwhelmed by a desire or a passion, however great you may be in the ordinary world, your words will lose discrimination. When you are angry, maybe with your father or mother, but what you are talking will be indiscriminate. This is natural. If you get angry with your own guru, you become indiscriminate. Right? Anger. Here, the man is upset by the fear complex in him, the conscience prick. And therefore, he says these words to his own acharya, his own teacher. Pasyedam Panduputran, Pasya etam, see. After all, he has already seen it. He is a great warrior. He taught them what is the art of warfare. And he has already noticed it. But then he goes and says, good day, old man, look at that. Pasya etam, these Panduputranam acharya. Hey acharya, see these Panduputra, the children of the Pandavas, the Pandava princes, and their array, Mahadim Chamu. He recognizes it as magnified. This great, grand army that has been assembled there by the Pandava children, brothers. See that. And then another prick. Vyudham Drupadaputrana. That array, that army formation is organized by what? Whom? Drupadaputra. The son of Drupada. He is the one who is in charge of the entire strategy of the Pandava forces, and he is the one who has organized them all. Tava Shishya. Who is he? Your own Shishya. Buddhu, fool, you should not have taught him. And you taught him, and now he is using that knowledge to fight with you. To whom are you talking? To your own guru. Why is he so indiscriminate? He is upset. So the harshness of the words reflect the mental condition of this great hero. Tava Shishyena Dhimata, that very wise, your own disciple, whom you used to appreciate. What a wise man, what a smart man, etc. You remember? That fellow is now organizing it. Meaning, Guru, you don't know how to select your own disciple. Continue.
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासाः
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासाः
भीमार्जुनसमायुधि
भीमार्जुनसमायुधे
युयुधानो विराटश्च
युयुधानो विराटश्च
द्रुपदश्च महारथः
द्रुपदश्च महारथः.
Atra there, Shuraha, the great courageous people, Maheshwasa, mighty archers, are standing there in that line. I hope you have seen them all. I think you have not seen them, or else you would have also been as excited as me. You seem to be calm, cool and collected. Your own Shishya, your own disciple, whom you have taught all art of warfare, is now organizing it. He is a commander of it, let us say. Bhima Arjuna Samayuta. And all these mighty people are as great in battle as Arjuna or Bhima, the two Pandavas, whom Duryodhana had the fear. These are the two mighty people. So long as there is no war, is going to be very difficult to win. They must be first killed. They are the mightiest strategician as well as who knows the art of war. And therefore he is afraid. All these people are as great as these great two heroes, the Arjuna and Bhima. Virata, that is pointing out the various people. Yuyudhana, Virata, Drupada, all these are Maharathas. Maharatha is an individual who can single-handed fight with 500 charioteers. 500 chariots come to you, round you, and yet single-handed you can fight. Such an individual is called a Maharatha. He is being given a title that he is capable of his prowess. To prove his prowess, Maharatha. All these people whom I announced, each one of them have already proved that they are Maharathas. They are all standing in the enemy line. Controlled and regulated and ordered by your own Shishya. So you are here organizing, and your own Shishya is organizing. Their knowledge of both are the same because you have imparted all the knowledge to that wise man, wise young man. Continue.
दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः
दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः
काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान्
काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान्
पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च
पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च
शैभ्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः
शैभ्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः.
A list of officers in the army or the enemies who are famous, and Duryodhana is able to recognize them. And their name is sufficient because Drona will recognize who they are. They are so famous, mighty warriors. So that just the name, the list of officers, Drishtaketu, Chekitanaha, Kashiraja, Viryavan, the most courageous of all people, Kashi Raja, the king of Kashi. Purujis, Kundibhojascha, Shaibhyascha, Narapungava, the best among the mankind, most decent and cultured people, all of them are there standing. Now, when this list is done, you and I cannot appreciate because we don't know the characters. It's something like reading a novel from the half of the book. You will not know who's who, what. In the same way, but you just understand that these are the names of the great officers there who are in charge of the Pandava forces, and recognizing them and knowing their value and might. The Duryodhana is getting very nervous. Continue.
युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्तः
युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्तः
उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान्
उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान्
सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च
सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च
सर्व एव महारथाः
सर्व एव महारथाः.
You again continuing the naming the list of the great officers and meaning the great men of courage and wisdom. Yudhanaha, Yudhamanyuscha, Yudhamanyu, Vikrantaha, the most courageous one. Uttamaujascha Viryavan, the most daring guy, Uttamauscha. Saubhadro, the son of Subhadra. Krishna and Subhadra, the son of Subhadra. Draupadi, Draupadi's sons, the Pandavas' children. Sarvayeva Maharatha. All these are Maharathas. Each one is capable of fighting with a large number of battalions of people, all alone, single-handed, if need be. And such mighty people are standing there. He is recognizing them all in the array of the Pandava forces.
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये
तान् निबोध द्विजोत्तमा
तान् निबोध द्विजोत्तमा
नायका मम सैन्यस्य
नायका मम सैन्यस्य
संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते
संज्ञातं तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
After this indicating the various mighty people in the enemy lines, see the indiscrimination into which that confused mind of the great leader of the Kaurava forces talks nonsense, wounding the feeling of those who are working for him. This is not the quality of a leader. A leader at all conditions must be able to encourage and pat on the back of all those who are supporting him. Now here he says, Asmagam tu vishishtaya. Ours, in our line of the army also, tan nibodha dvijottama. Hey, Brahmin, dvijottama. Dvija, twice born. Twice born is the name of a Brahmin. See the implication? You are not a Kshatriya. You are not the courage sufficient to fight a battle. You may know the art of warfare, but you don't know the diplomacy and the strategy necessary to fight it out. You are a Brahmin. Hey, Dvijottama, best among the Brahmins, is an insulting word at that time in the warfare. He is standing there with a bow and arrow ready to fight, in support of him, and he is discrediting him. Oh, Brahmin, and now remember who are the people, mighty people in our line, Asmagam, in our army, Purushottama, Nayaka mama sainyasya, my army. See that? It's not your army. In your army, that would have been humbleness. In my army, Mamaka, Nayakaha, the great leaders in it are Sapnyartham Tan Bhavimite. I will now recount them for your information. As though Drona never knew who are fighting for him. Think of it. The absurdity of it. But why these indiscriminate words come out of his mind? It's only because he is mentally upset. Mentally upset, not because he has no the strength and the power, but his consciousness that he is doing it for a wrong cause. Continue.
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च
कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः
कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः
अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च
अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च
सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च
सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च.
By the time he has spilt out the word and insulted him, you Brahmin, he suddenly realized, I did something wrong. I should not have done it. It is very indiscriminate. Now what to do? Pat the man. This always happens. When you are angry, you say something, and then you say, darling, I never meant it. See, I was thinking of something. You cool down because you know that you have crossed the line and her face has become too red. The red face of a wife is a danger zone, danger mark. It is from that face, that the traffic light also is red, means danger. And, all right, now, he understood that, he's not that he showed anything, but he realizes that he mistake, and therefore, Bhavan, who are the great people in my army, you yourself, Bhishma, the great grandsire, Karnascha, Karna, Kripascha, Samaninjaya, all these are mighty people in our army. Ashwathama, who? Your own son. Hey, great Ashwathama is there. Vikarnascha, your son-in-law. Saumadattischa, Tathaivacha. All these people are the mighty people in my army. In order to console him, he is making a mention of 4 of his own relations. Dronacharya, so that he may be consoled. Continue. Anye.
Hari Om, everybody. So this was the short introduction video and a few verses of taken by Puja Gurudev. This recording was done, many of you may be new to Chinmaya Mission, so I just wanted to tell you a few words. This video recording is considered as one of the greatest commentaries on Bhagavad Gita given out by Puja Gurudev. And just a minor detail that this was just before he attained Mahasamadhi, sometime in 1992, if I know correctly, this was recorded. So he was physically ailing, but you can't make out from the enthusiasm, energy which he oozes out in every word he says, the great master. So you can see that the enthusiasm and the energy with which all the words were coming. So I hope you all enjoyed it. We shall be continuing this in the next week, and I think Swamiji just joined in. I think he's transiting.
Yeah, I am in the at airport now.
Swamiji, would you like to please address something? We just finished the talk by Puja Gurudev. So just in case if Swamiji wants to add a few words, I have already announced that we couldn't adjust your program today. So we will be doing it.
So Hari Om, everyone. And I think I'm visible on the screen now, everybody.
Yes,
I'm
Swamiji.
speaking through mask. I
Yes,
hope
Swami.
the audio is audible.
Yes, Swami.
Audible. Okay, actually I came to, yesterday we had a beautiful Pratishtha here in Panchakula Chinmaya Mission. That Shivaji's Pratishtha, Shivalinga Pratishtha, they named it as Rameshwar Mahadev. A very beautiful temple was constructed. So I was here yesterday whole day function. And we have installed Lord Ganapati and Hanumanji also, and idol of Shiva Parvati and huge Shivalinga, very big Shivalinga also. So that's why I was here. Now I'm in Chandigarh airport, just for information. So I'll be actually, for next Saturday, wherever I am, I will be conducting the class from where I left. So that is what I just wanted to share with all of you. I'm glad at least you heard Puja Gurudev's great blessing. These Mahatmas, though they are physically may not be available, but they're always present. Only thing is we have to grow very subtle to feel their presence. So I just completed my other formalities at the airport and waiting at the gate. Then I just logged in 10 minutes back. So I enjoyed Gurudev's talk. And thank you all for joining. And normally we will not cancel. I will not cancel the class unless there is something which is beyond my control. So that is the thing. Anything else, Venkat, you want me to talk?
No, Swamiji, that's all. We had plan of having a shorter session today because Swamiji was not there. We've already made an announcement that we will resume from the verse which Swamiji had paused in the last class. So we are all eagerly looking forward for next week, same time.
When I was talking, my video is visible or not?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji, we can see.
Okay. So that's it. I just thank you all for participating today.
Yes.
And not much viewers on YouTube, though we are connected to YouTube.
Yeah. So the idea was that instead of forwarding the link, putting it on Google Drive, forwarding the link to those who missed it, we thought that at least in YouTube it will remain for perpetuity. So the idea of connecting to YouTube,
that is right.
Anybody who misses today can always watch it later also. That was the idea. So just a small announcement to everybody that we are here on all these videos will be, instead of sending the link and it gets delayed because of our individual travel. So we are putting it on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube and you will send the link first time. There onwards you can see it. So
very good. So YouTube is every Saturday you are planning like this?
Yes, Swamiji, earlier we thought that instead of uploading it to YouTube, now what we are doing is that our class is being streamed on YouTube. So even if people are not there live watching YouTube, at least it remains on YouTube where anybody can go back and...
No, that's what I'm telling. Is Madhav and everybody team is ready to do every Saturday or somebody has to do it?
Yes, we have worked that out. The back end team is working.
That is enough. That's enough.
So I'll do
So
the
I take
Shanti
leave
part.
from. Yeah, please Shanti do part.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you, Swamiji, for joining in, even if for a few minutes in the midst of your transit. Thank you, everybody. Swamiji, you're muted in case you want to say something.
Yeah, nothing. Thank you very much. It's nice meeting all of you. Tomorrow, next Saturday we meet again. Okay?
Sure, Swamiji. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hari Om.
I'm leaving now. Hari Om.
Yes, Swamiji.
Thank you, Venkat.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hari Om, Venkat ji.
Hari Om. Bangalore.
Thank you, Venkat.
Namaskaram.
Everybody. Thank you.